body fat, Jason. Acting was kind of the easiest part of the whole thing, I think. And, you know, she's a great actor and did her homework in preparation for the role. And I did the same, so that by the time we met on set as actors, we were ready to go. It only really reinforces my, gratitude for what I have. And no, I'm very appreciative for what I have, and I think this job reinforced that. Many people are not as lucky, so.
And I think, for the most part, Jeanne and Leland were doing all of the heavy lifting, and I basically just came in and tried not to ruin the movie for my couple of scenes. But it's a beautiful script, and actually this is the first time I've seen it tonight, so I'm very excited. I guess the most gratifying things have been when filmmakers like Leland or other people let me try something a little bit different than who I am. I think a lot of times in the world of independent film, I think there's a lot more room for experimentation. I feel like a lot of times with the big studio things, because there's more money involved and they're nervous about losing it, they just want you to do what you did in the last one that they saw you do, and they just want you to do that same thing over and over again. So there's not a lot of room for, I thought maybe, is this a good idea for this character? They don't want to do that. They're like, same haircut, same, all that kind of stuff. So it was really fun to start from zero with Leland, and it was great. The way that they shot the movie was really conducive to the acting process. A lot of times it's so cut up that you don't, it's like you have to constantly remember where you just came from and where you are. But he and Paula, the cinematographer, would orchestrate these shots where it was just one long shot, and sometimes he wouldn't cover both people all the time, just get generally what you get from the scene, and then we would be done with the scene and we would move on to the next thing. So it was a fast and efficient way, and also a really nice and creative way, and it allowed for a lot of freedom, since you weren't trying to match anything that you had done before. Each new take was its own little monster, so you could figure out what that was in the moment. So it was nice.
Yeah, this was one of the more difficult roles. The subject matter was a little too close. I also, oddly enough, just the fact that I'm acting with my husband, who wrote this, and I wanted to do a really incredible job for him. I mean, I really sort of did everything for him, because I wanted this film to kick him off as a first-time director. So there were a lot of layers, but the subject matter was really a little too intense for words. We had very big hats, and he was the director, I was the actor, and I only acted with him in a tiny scene. It was just one day that we shot it, and the rest, the two characters' lives are apart. So we were able to keep a really nice separation of church and state. I just, because of the subject matter, and I would have done this whether if it was Leland directing it or somebody else, I would never. This subject matter is so, I don't know if taboo is the word, but it's something that nobody wants to feel or even think what it might feel like. So I don't know, I can't tell you what my process was, because it was different from anything I've done. My approach was actually very cold, even though it is very emotional. I worked incredibly different this time around because of the difficulty of the subject matter.